It was in a Hard Rock Cafe in Denver, three or 4 years ago. He said, Ted, if I could set up meetings throughout the Middle East with all these bad guys, the Hezbollah, the Hamas, the muftis of major cities, and of course, I'm not familiar with the Middle East the way he is. I think Middle East, I think what most of you think, and that is terrorists, enemies, evil. They're killing us. They're killing our children. So, he says, if I could set up these meetings, would you write a book about our journey? We'll go and we'll meet with these people. We'll actually meet with our enemies. So, of course, I think, no, it's crazy. There's no way I'm going to do that. We talk, and he's a pretty good talker. Before he's a missionary, he's probably, a car salesman. So, finally I say, okay, you know what? You set it up, which is impossible. I'll go. I'll do it. A year later, he's got this thing set up. And he actually set these meetings up. And I got to tell you, up until the very day that we left, I was trying to get out of it. I was seriously trying to get out of it. I remember I get the phone call 3 days before we're supposed to leave. I'm in a store in Austin. I had just moved to Austin, trying to decide between Samsonite and Tumi. Samsonite or Tumi, these two different brands of bags. And I get this phone call from Carl saying, hey, I just got a call from Samir in Saudi Arabia, who set up a lot of this trip. And the Hezbollah has just taken over the parliament. They're shooting in the streets. Everybody's fleeing. Samir says, we shouldn't come. What do you think? And I think, really? And I put the bag back. Really? Well, what do you think? Should we go? Of course, I had to act cool, right? I couldn't say, thank God this is an answer to prayer. But I was thinking that. I was thinking, honey, we're off the hook. My wife was with us. And I said, well, let's just pray about it. Let's just see how it goes. 3 days later, I'm on a plane, flying over. But we're not going to go into Beirut. Don't worry. No. It's way too dangerous. Way too dangerous. We'll go to Egypt and then Saudi Arabia, skip Beirut, maybe don't worry. We won't. 3 days after that, I'm in Beirut. First plane in, streets are vacant, tanks everywhere. Okay, long story short, this whole trip for me, which is described in detail in Tea with Hezbollah, which is the book that Carl and I wrote together, this book takes a very unique look at our journey through the Middle East, primarily from my perspective as a green, I'm green. I'm a very pedestrian person exploring this country with him. And all along the way, we meet some fascinating people, and we interview them. We ask them questions like, what's your favorite joke? Now, when I say people, I'm talking about top leaders, the people that you would consider to be enemies. Hezbollah, Hamas. They're kind of shocked by these questions, but they immediately like it, and they smile, and they say, my favorite joke, and they tell their joke. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not. When's the last time you cried? And they tell us. What do you think of Jesus' teaching to love your enemies? To love your neighbor as yourself? After all, you revere Jesus, we revere Jesus. What do you think of that teaching? And they would tell us. It was an absolutely eye-opening experience, and I was petrified the whole time.